What's up, everybody? It's Gavin here with NBA Real Talk, and today we're gonna have some fun, just like we always have on this channel, and we're gonna talk about these. And what are these, you might be asking? These are fake Jordans ordered from DHgate, Wish app, AliExpress, and everything in between. So as usual, get yourself strapped in, get your popcorn ready, because this might be the most important video that you ever watch. All right, everybody, so it's been a long time coming for me to make this video. Some of the first videos I ever made on YouTube were actually about fake Jordans that I had ordered on Wish app, and that was during the pandemic. And that was an interesting time because what happened was we started selling stuff, or if you're anything like me, you started selling a lot of stuff. And one of the first things I resorted to selling was a large collection of real Jordans that I had, because frankly, most of them I never really wore, and they are one of the few things you can buy that tends to retain a decent level of value or even exceed the value that you originally bought them for. So I sold off most of my Jordans. My favorite Jordans were always the 12s and the 13s, and I sold off pretty much all of those. But I found myself really missing them when they were gone. So I had always been on Wish app and AliExpress and seen the fake Jordans that they had, and they were always advertised with these fake symbols that sort of just like an arbitrary kind of basketball silhouette or something that was kind of cheesy and rip off. But they had all the colorways. They had the He Got Game colorway, they had the black and red bread colorway. So eventually I was just kind of like, you know what? I just sold all the shoes that I had, you know, all the Jordans that I had anyway, and I was kind of missing them. So I thought, you know what? I always wanted the Denzel He Got Game colorway. Why don't I just go ahead and order it? Or one of the first pairs I ordered was the 12s, and when I ordered the 12s, I was like, well, you know, the 12 isn't really an overly labeled shoe. You know, there was some Jordan symbols, but the main silhouette of the shoe doesn't have any Jordan symbology really on it, other than saying Jumpman on the side. So I thought, you know, why don't I order some 12s? I'll order some 13s. I mean, I want them. They're shoes that I want. I love those colorways. What do I really care if anybody can tell that they're fake? But here's the thing. I thought I was literally ordering the thing with that cheesy basketball player silhouette or whatever they have on it. When the shoes arrived and they actually looked like Jordans, that was a very big surprise to me, and I did not see that coming. At my peak, I think I had somewhere around 40 or 50 pairs of fakes. Now it's probably somewhere in the rough realm of 20 to 25. I've sold some, I've given some away. Now when I sold them to people who knew exactly what they were buying. They knew what they were. I was not pulling the ruse over anyone's eyes. It is absolutely not right and immoral to sell fakes to people at, you know, the regular price, pretending that they're real. I sold my fakes on Craigslist to people at a price that they knew. I was like, hey, these are fake. You know, I told them what the quality was. I told them what they were getting into, and they said, hey man, I just want those shoes. And I said, I know the feeling. So one thing you see going around a lot these days is the sort of the real shoe heads they're getting after people a little bit for like, I don't know how people can wear fakes. How can you wear fakes? You know, what are you thinking? You know, like why would you do that? You know, who you think you fooling? Or they just think it's so wrong. Now, I don't know what the general shoe community's opinions are on fakes. For example, a long time dedicated Jordan collector like Jumpman Bostic, who's been a huge inspiration to people like me and many in the shoe community, the shoe collecting community, whatever you want to call it, the shoe culture. I don't know what his opinion is on fakes. I've never heard him express anything. He's someone, for example, like he's so deep in the game and has been doing this so long and has such a dedication that if he really, you know, shunned fakes or really frowned upon people who wear them, I mean, I feel like someone like him has kind of earned the right to. So the importance of individuality on any level. So whatever I think of you, whatever you think of me, that's what I think is important, is that we maintain the ability to think those things and express ourselves the way we want. So for example, if the way you want to express yourself is to pay, you know, 3 times retail for the new Travis Scott sneakers to make sure you got them and sell your body on the corner and do whatever it takes, not even knowing if what you got is real because they're so close at faking them nowadays, then by all means, that's something that you have the right to do. I ain't going there, man. I ain't gonna do that. I don't want to go to the lengths and the ends that you guys go to try and get your hands on these shoes when they're hot and they're hype and they get sold out in an instant and they're being listed on StockX and eBay the next day for 4 or 5 times what the retail price was. That those of you who look down upon us, well, I'm just saying that generally, if you look down upon people who wear fake shoes, they might look down upon you as like, hey man, I know what I got. I know where I got it. I know what it is. You paid, you know, do you even know if they're real? Oh yeah, you know they're real. Well, all the people who say, oh, well, I sniffed the glue and I taste the dirt on the bottom of the shoe and I lick the lace and put it in the wind to see which way it blows. All those people who are the supposed verifiers, well, guess what? They've been busted a million times thinking a shoe was real that was actually fake, thinking the shoe was fake that was actually real. All these things that you guys think you know that determine whether or not a shoe is fake or real, other than the obvious signs that we all know, it's not really what you think it is. So, why would you buy fakes? Why would you buy, say, this Jordan 15, you know, which, you know, I can get online on eBay for a decently reasonable price, but it's going to be old, it's going to be cracked, it's going to be crumbled. Or these, I think these are Black Cat 13s? Anyways, why wouldn't I get the real shoe for like somewhat close to retail where the color is going to match a lot better? Obviously, you can probably even tell if you know the Black Cat, that green ain't the green. Or why wouldn't I fork out for these, I can't remember, is this Drake's shoe? Man, I'm Canadian, I'm supposed to know stuff like that. I think Drake wore this shoe, or it's the like OVO branded shoe or whatever. Or why wouldn't I just search out for these like blue metallic-y Jordan, these 5s? I think they're 5s, yeah. Why wouldn't I? Well, guys, the reason is that I don't care. And a lot of us don't care. We just like what we like and we want to be able to get it when we get it. See, when I go online to these websites, they have so many colorway options and shoes that I had always wanted when I was younger, but couldn't get. Unless it's a highly, highly in-demand colorway, there's a good chance it's only going to come out once every 10, 15, however many years. The Jordan 13 defining moments would be a perfect example for me. That was a shoe that I had always wanted. It was the first Jordan 13 I tried to buy when I was in like 11th grade. It didn't work out. That's another story in itself. But the Jordan 13 was a sneaker I had loved for so long. And once I found that one on DHgate, I didn't care it was fake. As long as the hologram bubble, which wasn't even a real hologram anyway, as long as the hologram bubble had the defining moments, jump shot moment, and they were gold, and they looked like the defining moments, that's all I cared about. If that shoe was in the store on the shelf for the $300 price tag, or however much Jordans are going for these days, I would have bought it. But the bottom line is, I don't have that option. My only option would be going and paying someone online way over retail or getting their old beaten pair that's already fallen apart. You see what I'm getting at is that I'm literally not taking anything out of that company's pocket. I suppose you could say there's a slight moral impetus to like you're wearing a shoe that isn't their real shoe, so they wouldn't want it on your feet and yada yada yada. But the bottom line is like I wanted the shoe. I was willing to pay them for the shoe. They can't provide the shoe. So if I just want to pay someone who works across the street, you know, $90 to get the shoe that I would have to overpay for now and have no idea what the quality is, I really don't see a problem with that. I will wear these fakes all the time, everywhere. I get so many compliments, everybody. I get so many compliments. I can't walk down the street in any pair of fake Jordans I have without someone saying, hey, nice shoes, hey, nice shoes. And I'm talking about even when I'm wearing the ones that are like kind of look like they were like made with smelly felts in a kid's arts class. Like even when I'm wearing those ones, people like them. And whenever I get those compliments on them, could be some random woman on the corner, could be a little kid, could be anybody. As soon as they tell me that they like my shoes, I go, thanks. And then I go, they're fake. And you know what the response usually is? Oh. They're like, well, they're cool anyway. Nobody cares. Nobody even cares when they're fake. Nobody even cares when you're wearing like the hype shoes and they're fake. The ones that collab with Supreme or the Cactus Jack stuff or any of that stuff. And they sent me the wrong shoes and they sent me the, whatever those off-white, like the already beat up, like Chicago Jordans, like the ones that are made to already look just kind of whacked up when you get them. Like they sent me those and I wore them a bit and nobody knew. Nobody cared. I put in my ad on Craigslist, these are fake Jordans. I note the quality, I note the level. And you know what the guy did? He wanted them. We did a trade actually, I didn't sell them. He wanted them because he just always wanted those shoes and he loved them. So you gotta understand, we do this because we love it. Now I'll say this much about fakes. It's a very hit and miss game. Now most of your misses aren't like air balls, but there's a lot of bricks going up off the there's a lot of ugly backboard shots that ain't going in. You'll go through a lot of pairs where the flaws outside of the regular stuff, like, you know, the jump man being a little bit off or the ball being a little too big in his hand or something like that. But the only real problems you run into is that the materials are obviously dramatically inferior, even to the crap type Jordan materials that they use these days. Also, there'll be little things like I can't show you, but sometimes the insole will just be like a centimeter or two short of actually making it to the end of the shoe. There's not really much you can do unless you got a perfect pair of insoles. So the thing is, they're very improperly made. They're even more flawed than the very flawed Jordans that, you know, the lack of quality controlled Jordans that we are purchasing in store today. There's a lot of those problems, but hey, you get a shoe, you get it cheap, it's something you love, it's something you want to rock, and guess what? That's the beauty of getting these fakes, is that you don't worry about it. You just throw them on your feet and you have fun, and you wear the shoes like shoes are meant to be worn, because the last thing on your mind when you're buying fake shoes is resale value. When you buy a fake shoe, you are really, truly buying it for yourself. You're buying it for you to wear, probably because you always liked it, or it's a color that you always thought was cool, or it's a color that you just discovered on that website, because sometimes they have colorways that aren't released to the public. For example, they'll have female colorways, because you know the girls sometimes get these cool colorways that they don't release in the guy sizes. They'll have some of those colorways sometimes, and they'll have them in the guy sizes, and I got a few pairs like that. So that's my opinion on fake Jordans. It's one of those things where it's like, you know what? You really got to let it go, guys. That's just my opinion. I don't begrudge you for looking down on it. I don't dislike you for looking down on it, but I do think it's this weird thing that you got to get over, because hey, at least I know what I'm wearing on my feet. I don't feel like you can say the same, and you paid a lot more money than me. So those are my opinions, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope that was worth something to you. I hope I put something out there that maybe some people on the internet can even just wrestle with and have conversation with. Maybe engage me in the comments down below. Tell me why you think it's wrong. This is Gavin with NBA Real Talk, signing out. You'll see me walking around in those fakes, and I'll talk to you guys next time.